January is here and tech layoffs are on the rise again. I mean, you pick up your phone, go through any of your applications, you go Google that name of the application and add the word layoff to it. I'm sure there's going to be a news that pops up that, oh, 1,000 employees have been gone off, or like 200 employees. The entire division has been disbanded. The majority of the layoffs that happened in 2023 happened in January. And ironically, at that time, I think Mark Zuckerberg has said that we're entering the year of efficiency.
And it's so different this year compared to last because the companies themselves are doing really well. The stocks have gone up and now everyone's talking about AI. But then again, it's unfortunate that people are being laid off even despite all of this.
Usually when layoffs happen, it shows that the companies are in some sort of financial trouble and they're not doing well. But the stocks have been soaring in 2023, I think like 200%, 100%, they're just rising.
They've been using AI as a scapegoat for laying off people. That's the main reason they give, we're laying off people because, well, AI has taken your jobs. But it is very unclear on how much of the job is being automated by AI and what are the responsibilities that has shifted for these people. So there's no clarity given by the company for any of this, for laying off a whole bunch of people that now, people have gone through multiple layoffs in a year and they've just begun working themselves.
Exactly.
It's very disheartening. I mean,
maybe it's a drawback, but then there's a lot of irrational panic around this. Okay, one of the first reports that came to the media when ChatGPT was released and products similar, they're like, oh shit, AI is going to replace my jobs. AI is here to replace humans in this field, that field, that field. And now the problem with this is because that is how it's being covered in the media, right? I mean, Goldman Sachs released a report that said that 300 million jobs are going to be affected due to AI. What they wanted to say was that the tasks are going to be automated, but the media covered it that Goldman Sachs has said that 3 million jobs are going to be replaced, which is not true.
There is fear mongering amongst this, and the number 300 million seems so large that everybody, I feel like, ran with it without knowing the specifics of it. But we are seeing a significant shift, which is taking slow. It's a slow burn. I mean, I don't know if 300 million jobs will go away immediately, but over the years, I think, do you think that is expected of jobs to be automated?
For instance, as you mentioned, I mean, let's take Duolingo, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they laid off saying that, oh, we are integrating some sort of AI over here, so we have to let go of these many people. But then ironically, their users themselves have complained that we don't want that interaction with AI on your platform because it's just making our experience worse.
So the companies, sometimes they're laying off the wrong sort of people. I read a report about how this company laid off the engineers and retained all the product managers. The engineers are the ones doing the actual task, which they then realized after a few weeks and had to put out, job postings again for the, roles they laid off. So as you said, Duolingo, they're using AI for their products now and users are having a terrible experience with it. But will we see a shift in how these apps progress over time? Will they still continue to use AI because it's cheaper and it's more efficient, apparently? But I mean, there is no end goal to this.
A majority of this happened because companies that were working on different projects 2 years ago decided to all of a sudden shift to generative AI. For instance, Meta, they disbanded a lot of their metaverse teams, and eventually they were like, okay, we have the people now, so now what do? You go work in these generative AI division, you go work over there. And the rest were laid off. So I mean, the creme de la creme as just being retained, and the rest are like, we don't know what to do with this resource.
So to some extent, AI is to blame for these layoffs because of, the shift in direction each company is taking with their services and the kind of work that they want to continue to do. They don't want to do the projects, as you said, that was 2 years ago. And also how much of automation that's being done. So with coding, you have Copilot. For product managers, again, that is one of the biggest sector, I think, that's been laid off. And then you have Agile and Scrum Masters. So one of the ways that they can ensure maybe this doesn't happen is to upskill themselves. There are thousands of courses online on every specifics of generative AI, on the technology that is now in demand. So that is one. And companies also, they have to be really mindful on how many people they are hiring and for what they want these people to do. Don't you think so?
I mean, I absolutely agree with you, but upskilling is like a secondary thing for people who are laid off or who are looking for jobs. I mean, I remember going through a comment section on YouTube, and the guy who was 25-year-old who's already been laid off twice in 2023. Now, can you imagine him going and looking out for a job in 2024? How
Disheartening
exactly.
that is. Yeah.
So it's at the end of the day, these layoffs boil down to the structural problem of these organizations when they don't have enough clarity about the kind of services that they want to provide or what to do with the human resources that they have and they've hired in abundance. I mean, it's really disheartening when a person who's been working all their life, the PhD thesis, this and that, and then eventually they go and work for a company they've always wanted to, and a few months later they're like, okay, bye. And that's not even once. I mean, there are some people who've been laid off twice and thrice in the last 1 year. And it's going to be a very difficult year, 2024, for them because we know the layoffs are going to keep continuing. So I really hope that people who watch the videos, at least the decision makers, they pick up something from it and adhere to that.